Okay, right. Okay, in a dihybrid cross, the Mendel, based on the dihybrid cross, Mendel has proposed the most important law, what we call law of independent assortment. What exactly the law of independent assortment say? Say, in case of the F1 hybrid, we got round yellow. It is dominant. We have discussed that round and yellow are the dominant traits, whereas wrinkled and green are the recessive. Just like in the monohybrid cross. The most important thing is when Mendel have separately subjected the same to monohybrid cross. That means instead of two traits, he has picked up one particular trait, just like in monohybrid cross. Say round versus wrinkled and yellow versus green, he got the same results. That means here we use that round yellow is dominant and wrinkled green is recessive. So the same has been witnessed in F1. And when this F1, when subjected to selfing, just like in monohybrid cross, we got different combination. That means the phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3:1. The thing is, 9 are round yellow, 3 are round green, and 3 are wrinkled yellow, and 1 is wrinkled green. Here the point is, though there is a dominant of one particular trait, other combinations are also possible. What makes this possibility? Here, one pair of contrasting traits, the independent is segregated from the other pair of contrasting traits. What we call third law, law of independent assortment. What exactly I want to say is, say if we put two pairs of contrasting traits in a hybrid, F1 hybrid, say two pairs of contrasting round yellow and wrinkled green, each pair of contrasting trait will independently segregate from the others. Say the round is a dominant and wrinkled is a recessive. This is one pair of contrasting trait, and yellow is a dominant and green is a recessive. Another pair of contrasting trait. The segregation, that means the segregation of one contrasting pair is independent from that of other. There is no interference. If there is no such independent segregation, we are not going to expect other possible combinations other than the dominant phenotype. That means the round yellow only will come in even F2. Here there is 3 round green, 3 wrinkled yellow, 1 wrinkled green. That means though there is a difference in number of phenotypes, but they had their own point. I have discussed in the monohybrid cross. Just we keep the dominant and recessive concept aside. Just the respect to allele waits for an opportunity. Say the allele which has not been expressed in F1, which has been recessive, the same got opportunity in F2 in monohybrid cross through law of segregation. And here in independent assortment, the each pair of contrasting pair, they separately segregated so that they had their own expression in F2. If there is no such independent segregation, we are not going to expect these other combinations. Say what exactly, to be specific, say a gamete containing small r allele, that means a wrinkled allele. Here each gamete may it's like random segregation, and fertilization also random fertilization. Each gamete may contain capital R or small r, 50% combination. At the same time, capital Y or small y. Say, presume like that. A gamete containing small r allele may contain capital Y and small y, 50%. Some may 50% capital Y and 50% small y. Same like that, gamete containing an allele capital R may contain 50% capital Y and 50% small y. That means, to be specific, segregation of 50% capital R and 50% small r is independent from that of the segregation of 50% capital Y and 50% small y. This is what exactly the broad concept of law of independent assortment. That means segregation of one contrasting pair will be independent from that of the other contrasting pair, and the same will be witnessed in the way of the respective phenotypic characters in F2 generation, second filial generation, and the respective genotypic ratio are 1:2:1:2:4:2:1:2:1. Since the round yellow are dominant, the number is high, 9. But according to the nature of dominance, we have discussed law of dominance. The respective phenotypic characters will come like 3 are round green, and 3 are wrinkled yellow, and 1 is wrinkled green. So this is how the whole concept ends. So the point is simple. Each contrasting pair will not interfere with the segregation of other contrasting pair. They will get their own expression in respect to F2 generations. This is very important. That means the possible different combinations will occur, and this is what we got it in dihybrid cross. So we can summarize for a while. Monohybrid cross leads to law of dominance. That means out of 2 alleles, 1 allele is dominant, which will be expressed in F1, and the same has been recessive will get expressed in F2. Is called because of law of segregation, what we call second law of Mendel or law of segregation, because it didn't get its expression in F1 but the same got expressed in F2. This is very important because the alleles are segregated from each other during gamete formation, so that each gamete will receive one particular allele. This is very important. And third law, when we mix two pairs of contrasting traits, that means when we put two pairs of contrasting traits in a hybrid, and each contrasting pair will independently segregate from that of other pair, and there is no interference, such that here in F2 the respective combinations may come in the way of 9:3:2, 3:1. This is called law of independent assortment. So just put a particular example, the 50% the segregation of 50% in capital R and 50% small r is independent from the segregation of 50% capital Y and small y. So it's about law of independent assortment. So I have discussed already. Mendel was the first person to use mathematical equation and statistical aspects in biology, and he was the first person to prove that to propound that characters inherited from parent to offspring in an unblending, there is no blending, which was generally the prevailing idea of that time, even the topmost biology. Even when he get the opportunity to express his mind or to prove his point, the biologists of the time, they didn't agree with him. They may have different opinion. That is why Mendel used to say, I may get my day, or I may get my time. So such is a remarkable contribution that Mendel has given. That is why he can maybe aptly considered as the father of modern genetics, okay, based on this monohybrid and hybrid cross experiments. Thanks for watching.